a pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll... Only get back to the 16-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come on, come get some grab right there. Go. Go. I like 3. Check it back. Check it back. Joker. 36.
From the shotgun, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 69 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
50 seconds to Mike. Watch the run.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on third down, and you make the home crowd go,
there is a hush indeed. And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They go for it on fourth down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check 99. Check 99. Can't. Yo. Go ahead.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A first down throw for Cousins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up second down.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
First and 10 at the 20.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll throw again. Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Flush to his right. incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Third and long for Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This offense converted once already. Fourth down.
Through. 57's the mic. Watch 57. You don't want.
Now Cousins on fourth down. It's complete to Diggs. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Check curls.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Vikings, nothing.
They'll run with Cook. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. On second and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Watch twist. Watch twist. Black. 57. Mike, 57.
Third and goal for Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Check 50, check 50. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
On first and 10, it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Check. Hey, 0.
Wilson. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
25 yards that time. Throwing again here, Wilson. Stepping, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10. Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougald. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Let's go!
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action.
Check 24, check 24. Shift, watch the shift.
On first down, Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well. And they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Just like that. Just like that.
From the gun, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. There he goes, right side. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face, and analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Cousins now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
57's right. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Black. 10. We're going. Where's the hot?
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to float this one, and this will be caught at the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Cousins, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 27 yards, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. Now that'll cut the lead down to 28.
Makes the score Seahawks 42, Vikings 14.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Look left. Hudson. He's coming. We got double up. Check tempo.
To throw again, Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Cousins now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're at training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of one. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
A second down throw for Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Slam.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. With a catch made by Johnson. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. And Diggs has it. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. To throw, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson escaping the pressure right. He'll find Metcalf. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down Seahawks. Now they can breathe a little easier. Some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Check 24. Check 24. Hey.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 26.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
SOS. Hey, yo. 57.
Cousins now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike. Quit talking about it and bring it.
Throwing is Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
Hey, no, easy.
Cousins to throw for it on fourth. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
Switch.
40.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Run left.
That's it. Come here, switch it. Hey, watch it.
Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he...